each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning. Even earlier than I usually am. Got the grandkids, so I got up a little earlier. It's not a sleeping in day. We finally got Chuck cash, so now we get to pay all our bills. Fun stuff. Fun stuff. Ah. Amber says, fuck yeah, because I'm waiting for my sponsor to get off his meeting like it's more important than his favorite spot. Yeah, what the fuck's wrong with him? Where's his priorities? She's joking around, folks. It goes with the I'm not that important, Don't they know who I am? Don't they know who I am? Don't they realize how important I am? If they would just listen. Oh. Speaking of I do not run the show, I do not run the show. And it feels like the last 24 hours have been a show. Sorry, inside joke. Inside joke. Oh, we deal with all sorts of things in our lives. Some things are kind of tougher than others. Yeah. Morning, Heather. Got your message. Was glad to hear it. Sawyer, really, it is too early to be a dick, dude. Seriously. Go find something to chew on or something, dude. Dear Lord, freaking cats. Did you look at me funny? It's like children bickering. He's touching me. He's touching me. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. Welcome to the Daily Trudge. Oh, I'm in sorts. I'm in moods. I'm not in my feels though, but I'm in a weird mood. I'm in a good mood, but yeah. Feeling a little duped at the moment. If you're here, please say hello. Whether you're playing whether you're watching the whether you're playing the live, whether you're watching the live, watching, or listening to the rewatch. Got a lot of rewatchers. I mean, like mostly in my clips, so which seem to be doing all right. Usually get about 150. I got one that did like 800 something. How's it go 100? That's 440. That's it. I don't understand why it does that. If they like my stuff, why aren't they just? Then I guess it'll pop up more. I don't know, but I'm slowly getting more and more listeners, so that's kind of cool. It's happening naturally, which is what I really appreciate. We are an attraction, not promotion place, which we may need to change. All right. We're actually in the daily reflection today, but I'm doing the one from February 10th, kind of mix it up a little bit here because I couldn't think of a darn thing this morning. So I needed some guidance. It looks like we're going to be on the big book around page 53. Might as well go to page 52 and do the bedevilments. All right. Yep. My sponsor agrees, Amber. Maybe we ought to say something in the group. Because it's got to be done. This has got to be done the right way. I can't talk about it here. I apologize. I'm gonna go ahead and shut up. Heather says, same. It's one of those days, different kind of mood and place. Yeah, so it's not just me. Today feels weird, huh? Today feels kind of weird. I don't know what it is. I thought it was me, but clearly I'm not the only one. So see how we're all connected. It's like, and it isn't a feeling. It's a gut. It's a gut instinct going ding 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 ding. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to start at top of page 52 for us for anybody that would like to follow along. and I will do everything that I can to remember I do not run the show, is because in the beginning it's not going to be that. So I'll make sure I get to that. But in most fields, our generation has witnessed complete liberation of our thinking. Shoni Longshoreman, a Sunday supplement, describing a proposal to explore the moon by means of a rocket, and he will say, I bet they do it. Maybe not so long either. And we ended up doing it. Is not our age characterized by the ease with which we discard old ideas for new, by the complete readiness with which we throw away the theory or gadget which does not work for something new for which does? I'm going to utilize music this time, okay? Because since I've been alive, do you know how many mediums have been used for me to listen to my music? Right? It started with records. Then it was 8-track. Yes, 8-track. Okay. And I actually prefer 8-track over tapes because with the 8-track, but 8-track only had like 4 or 5 songs on it, right? And a record you could move, but a tape you had to fast forward. You know what I'm talking about. That was a great impression of fast forwarding and rewinding tape. Right? Then it was tapes. Then it was CDs. Then it was MP3 players. Then it was records again. Now I listen to everything on my phone. I listen to almost everything through YouTube and Pandora. Look at all these different mediums. Now, did I question it? No, they made it easier for me. Now I can listen to any song whenever the fuck I want to for $14.99 a month. See what they did? Hey, those musicians got to make their money. I don't mind. Right? Unless it's Metallica and Napster. Let's not forget about Napster. If you were around, Metallica got mad because Napster was the first RAR site where you could download a song and then somebody else could just go download it and they'd have it in their collection. And Metallica got very, very angry about this. So I downloaded every Metallica song I could find just out of spite. I was about 32, 33 when. All right. So we are constantly letting go of new ideas. What about the microwave? Sorry, my phone's kind of going off here, everybody. Yeah. Right. We had to ask ourselves why we shouldn't apply to our human problems with the same readiness to change our point of view. We're having trouble with personal relationships. We couldn't control our emotional natures. We were a prey to misery and depression. We couldn't make a living. We had a feeling of uselessness. We were full of fear. We were unhappy. We couldn't seem to be of real help to other people. This is what I call the landing spot. This is the landing spot, right? I just saw this this ad. If you're a coach and you're putting out ads, yeah, you're already on the wrong route. Okay, but it was talking about, I help the what do you call it? It's saying the functioning. I help the high functioning addicts. What there, right there. All right. I'm like, your stuff is dangerous. The fact that this is what you're saying. No. Addiction doesn't care about money. There is no such thing as a high functioning alcoholic or addict. It does not exist. That in the clinical world, that would be an oxymoron. There is nothing about it that is functioning. That's the whole point. It is called dysfunction. Alcohol and addiction is called dysfunction. Literally. This is what it comes down to. We're having trouble with personal relationships. We couldn't control our emotional natures. We had a feeling of uselessness. We were full of fear. These are what matter. These are what matter. All right. When we saw others solve their problems by a simple reliance upon the spirit of the universe, we had to stop doubting the power of God. Our ideas did not work, but the God idea did. At no point do my ideas really work. I do not run the show. Now, I'm an idea guy. I come up with an idea a minute. I ignore most of them. Okay. And I come up with pretty good ideas. Whether I follow through on them or not is kind of a different story. But I do come up with a lot of ideas. All right. So what do I do when I do have an idea I'd like to follow through on? I ask God. And in the beginning, when I first got in the program, it was no. The answer was no. Flat out no. I was in the program for a little bit longer, and suddenly it was not yet. Morty Michelle. It became not yet. Now often it is yes. Because I practiced it so much that my will is in line with God's now. It's not always easy to do. Every now and again I go off on my own little tangent, my own little thing. And there's one thing that's consistent when it doesn't work. I did not check in with God. It's the one consistent I find when things do not work out for me. I didn't look for direction. I didn't ask for direction. I wasn't being open-minded. I thought I was doing the right thing because I thought my intentions were good, because I thought I had humility, when really the humility is asking God for direction, and I did not do that part. So there was no humility in it. It happens to me every now and again. Usually when I put out a post after getting, angry, triggered. Sure. Yeah, I'm human. I make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. It's when people come on and act like they never make mistakes, and now that they're in sobriety and recovery, that everything is fucking sprinkles and unicorn farts. Yeah. Now, life is messy. That's why we're given tools, right? That's why we're given tools. If you can get to a point where your problems remain opportunities, then you got something on the ball. You got something on the ball. So, the Wright brothers' almost childish faith that they could build a machine which could fly was the mainspring of their accomplishment. Without that, nothing could have happened. We agnostics and atheists were sticking to the idea that self-sufficiency would solve our problems. When others showed us that God sufficiently worked with them, we began to feel like those who had insisted the Wright brothers could never fly. See, we have been listening to the God of reason. We have been listening to the God of self-sufficiency. We have been listening to what we thought was our intuition, but really, so we were believing in something at some point. We were praising something. So the God idea is there. Whether you're doing something with it or not is something entirely different. What about the God of intelligence? Been following that too. Well, at the other one, how about the God of my brain's not working fast enough. The God of high functioning alcoholism. That would have been a much better joke if it came out when I wanted it to. That would have been a lot better. And my camera's being okay. That was just me. The way I was moving. Okay. Logic is great stuff. We liked it. We still like it. I like it. I'm big on logic. I had to use logic this morning. It just kind of felt like somebody was blowing smoke up my ass. I've been getting that feeling, right? And what did I use? Well, I used logic to kind of figure out what was going on, because in this case, my feelings could not be facts, but my intuition was just going wah 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 wah. Danger, Dion Robinson. Danger, Dion Robinson. Ding, ding, ding. It is not by chance we are given the power to reason, to examine the evidence of our senses, and to draw conclusions. The brain's a magnificent tool. It's a great tool. It really is, when utilized the right way. Just like AI is a good tool when utilized the right way. See, AI is you get out what you put into it. That's why it's no good for therapy, because it's just going to tell you what you want to hear. That's all it's going to do. It's not going to help you solve your problems. Only another human being and the power of God can do that. Okay. So what is it? It's a tool. I utilize Chat GPT all the time. It is a tool. It is nothing more than that. Beyond that, God gave me the power to reason things out. Right? And at step 10, I get to start doing that again, because I am no longer insane, according to me. According to the state, yeah, that's something entirely different. But their opinion doesn't really matter. Well, it only matters in the fact that that I need to be on disability, right? This is one of man's magnificent attributes. We agnostically inclined would not feel satisfied with a proposal which does not lend itself to reasonable approach and interpretation. Hence, we are at pains to tell why we think our present faith is reasonable, why we think it more sane and logical to believe than not to believe, why we stay our former thinking was soft and mushy when we threw up our hands in doubt and said, we don't know. About time. We don't know. I think that's a great place to start. Not knowing anymore. That's where I started. I discarded all my ideas. I discarded them. And when new ones popped up, I'd run them by my sponsor, who would tell me no in the beginning, right? Now he says yes. Yeah. Heather says it's really deadly when they convince addicts that some addicts are functional and therefore require special treatment. Yeah, that's the problem. I'll tell you what's going on. See, POTUS took all the money away. So now these ads have become specialized, going after people with money. And if you appease them and call them high functioning, they'll give you their money because they think they are in a class above all unto themselves. It's done on purpose. And it's disgusting. It is. Okay. So when we became alcoholics, crushed by self-imposed crisis, we could not postpone or evade. We had to fearlessly face the proposition that God is either everything or else he is nothing. God either is or he isn't. What was our choice to be? Hey, Daryl. Good to see you. Good morning. All right. This is what I call the pregnant situation. There's a lot of black and white in AA. We need it. There's a lot of gray too, but there's some things in here, and this is a black or white situation. You're either pregnant or you're not. You can't be kind of pregnant. You can't sort it. You can plan on getting pregnant. You can do certain things. You can take certain actions. Right? Absolutely, Heather. It's just another form of being terminally unique, because that's what we really want. Look at me. Look how high I can jump. Just see, I got new shoes. You want to see how fast I can run? That is exactly how we act. And I see it all the time. What gets me is that people are buying it. Anyway, so we're back to this pregnant situation. God either is or he isn't. And it doesn't need to be much. This is the way I kind of see it. Everything that I thought that was so great that I ever did landed me drunk in jail, in detoxes, in treatment centers, in sorted places, in hospitals. You ever wake up with black fucking chalk all over you? It's no fun. And if you have, what I'm talking about when I talk about the black chalk being all over you, that they had to force it down you so that you wouldn't asphyxiate on your vomit and die. Yeah. I agree, Daryl. Drunks will create gray areas where there is none. And we're just talking about with those people calling high functioning addicts and alcoholics. No. No. See, they created something. Stop making up names and titles for yourself. That's the one that's getting to me now. And I'll say it again, recovery coaches don't have clients. They have customers. You are not a professional. Those people work very, very hard to get those letters behind their names. They spent thousands, tens and thousands of dollars. You spent, you spent $99 in a week in training, and suddenly you have clients and you're cured. See, I got a big problem with that. It's wrong. It ain't gonna work. It will kill people. That's why I advocate the way that I did. If misinformation in recovery didn't kill people, I wouldn't be that way. But it does. It does. When you spread around rumors like high functioning, you're killing people. Because you're thinking only of one person, you and your fucking pocketbook. Disgusting. And I won't go for it. And I will call you out on it. In person or online, don't bother me. I'm Gen X. I will see you on the playground after school. Only some people will get this. I choose you. Remember that one? That means we're going to fight. That means we're going to fight. If I choose you, that means we're going to go fight on the playground after school. That's what that meant. All right. So God either is or he isn't. No, but I was saying, with everything that I had done, why not give it a try? Give it 30 days, give it 60 days, give it 90 days. If it isn't working, come back to me. I've got a receipt book here and I will refund you for your misery. I'll refund your misery. You can go on your happy way, and hopefully we'll see you again sometime when you've made the decision that you are an alcoholic and that you need to do the work. We're okay with that. But give it a try. Don't you think you're at least fucking worth trying for? Because I do. Maybe you don't. Because when I got here, I didn't. Oh, it took a lot of effort to even consider doing something nice for Dion. Are you kidding? So, arrived at this point, we were squarely confronted with the question of faith. We couldn't duck the issue. Some of us had already walked far over the bridge of reason towards the desired shore of faith. The outlines and the promise of the new land brought luster to tired eyes and fresh courage to flagging spirits. Friendly hands had stretched out in welcome. We were grateful that reason had brought us so far, but somehow we couldn't quite step ashore. Perhaps we would have been leaning on too heavily on reason that last mile, and we did not like to lose our support. I get that. This is the only stick I have left. It's the only thing holding me up. And you want me to let it go to believe in God? That's a hard one. It's all I have left. If I get rid of this, I am nothing. And then I might as well just be dead. I know exactly how that feels. It's not what happens, though. It's like jumping off a cliff. Trusting in God, having faith in God is like jumping off a cliff. I have not seen anybody hit the ground yet. Every single one of them have been caught by the loving hand of God. Whether they wanted it or not, whether they chose it or not. That's a great thing. See, even atheists and agnostic people that don't believe in God, I still get to see how God is working in their lives. Why? Because I don't run the show anymore, because I don't have expectations on them, because I'm allowing them to be who they are. Even right now, I have a friend going on. I'm allowing them to be who they are. There's something, and because if not, then my emotions are going to come in and I'm going to come up with the wrong answer. Right now, it's in God's hands. All right? Yeah. So it goes on to say that was natural. It was natural that you feel that way. In fact, if you don't feel that way, there might be something a little wrong with you. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Without knowing it, had we not been brought to where we stood by a certain kind of faith, did we not believe in our own reasoning? Right? Did we not have confidence in our ability to think? What was that but a sort of faith? Yes, we have been faithful, objectively faithful to the God of reason. So in one way or another, we discovered that faith had been involved all the time. All right. And that leads us to footprints in the sand. Let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead and read the whole poem. Footprints in the Sand poem. I didn't ask for the breakdown. I know it. Okay. Here it is. All right. One night, I dreamed I was walking along the beach with the Lord. Scenes from my life flashed across the sky. In each, I noticed footprints in the sand. Sometimes there were 2 sets of footprints. Other times, there was only one. During the low periods of my life, I could see only one set of footprints. So I said, "You promised me, Lord, that you would walk with me always. Why, when have I needed you the most, have you not been there for me?" The Lord replied, "The times you have seen only one set of footprints, my child, is when I carried you." All right. And that's what it is. And I like to take that a little bit further and turn it into a joke and say, besides, child, you don't wear size 11. I think it's funny. All right. Daryl says, I took my elevator down to the sub-basements, but I don't judge or evaluate where others are. Yeah. That's why we got it. See, in some cases, we have to take a logical view at things instead of an emotional view, right? But when we can combine these two things and they're aligned with God, you know what we call it? We call it intuition. That is your intuition, all right? So, all right, let's do a little bit more. We found too that we have been worshipers. What a state of mental goose flesh that used to bring on. Have we not variously worshiped people, sentiment, things, money, and ourselves? Huh, you high functioning drunks? Don't ya? Didn't ya? And then, with a better motive, have we not worshipfully beheld the sunset, the sea, or a flower? Who of us had not loved something or somebody? How much did these feelings, these loves, these worships have to do with pure reason? Little or nothing, we saw at last. Were not these things the tissue out of which our lives were constructed? Did not these feelings, after all, determine the course of our existence? It was impossible to say we had no capacity for faith or love or worship. In one form or another, we have been living by faith and little else. Okay? Your whole life has been run on faith, just the wrong faith, right? So I'm getting ready to wrap up, Daryl. You're good. I'm just gonna do the reading from this and wrap it up. And I got a lot of stuff I gotta get done today, so got a lot of money to go spend. All right. Today, my choice is God. He is everything. For this, I am truly grateful. When I think I am running the show, I am blocking God from my life. I pray I can remember this when I allow myself to get caught up into self. The most important thing is that today I am willing to grow along spiritual lines and that God is everything. When I was trying to quit drinking on my own, it never worked. With God and AA, it is working. This seems too simple thought. This seems to be a simple thought for a complicated alcoholic. Yeah, keep it simple. And it's probably going to be the hardest thing that you do because we alcoholics want to complicate things. It makes things a little bit more adventurous. It creates drama, and we love our drama. Yes, we do. So what do they say? Keep the drama with your mama. Heather says, having the ability to remain sheltered, fed without conflict, and reasonably content is certainly not what I deserve, nor in my control. Heather, you do deserve it. You do. All right. You do deserve to be reasonably content. You've earned you. It may not feel like it, and I know where you're coming from. I know what you're saying. We feel like we don't that we haven't earned that yet, but you did. You just don't know it yet. All right. So, but you do deserve it. I believe that everybody deserves to be happy, joyous, and free, no matter how I feel about them. Yeah. So I'm glad you said something. No, it's not in control. It is him. It is God. Yes. God loves you that much that you can fuck up and he still wants you to be happy. That you can fuck up and he still wants you to be reasonably content. He does want those things for you. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being. And I agree with you, Heather. It comes from God. Without God, I wouldn't have any of that. So, thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out and have a